All right, so um, we talked about the potential risk factors, so now we're going to look at specific ones. This one we're going to look at is skin cancer. So, skin cancer is probably one of the most easily prevented forms of cancer there is. And if you did the homework already, you should know a little bit about skin cancer and what you're going to be doing in this experiment. So, what the first thing you had to do in the homework is you had to take like a little survey and research the things that you can do to prevent cancer. How do you detect skin cancer? And then how do you treat skin cancer? And why does UV radiation actually cause skin cancer? So the reason why I had you do that for homework is because that's actually all the background information you're going to need to include into your lab report. So this one you're going to do a lab and you're going to do a formal lab report on this experiment. With yeast, and you can also use UV detectors. So first, let's describe this. Just quickly go over. So the reason why you're looking at melanoma is one of the types of skin cancer. So there's a bunch of different skin cancers. And again, if you did the homework, you should have saw there's basal cell, squamous melanoma, and then some more rare forms. Melanoma is the one that is the most dangerous because it metastasizes very quickly. So if you don't catch this quickly, it can quickly spread to other parts of the body, and that's when skin cancer becomes dangerous. Skin cancer in itself isn't all that big of a deal. It's gross to get removed and painful, but it's not a big deal as long as you diagnose it quickly and get rid of it. So it won't cause lots of deaths, but it is probably one of the highest forms of just getting cancer in the United States. All right, because there's over 100 million cases in skin cancer in the U.S. each year, but they don't all lead to, very few of them lead to death because generally we're pretty good at catching them quickly. But this is also one of the most prevented cancers because all you have to do is take those precautions that you read about in the homework. All right, if you didn't understand or anything in some things in the homework before you write your lab report, you should go over the review, and I'll have a review where I explain mostly everything in that you had to do in the homework to get you for the lab. The lab you're going to do is first you're going to use yeast. All right, so I will explain this real quick, but you're going to use yeast, and there's going to be the wild type, which is normal, and then there's going to be the mutated. All right, the mutated will die in the presence of UV radiation. So the first thing you're gonna do is we're just gonna grow these and see and do some confirmation plates. That means we're going to confirm whether or not these guys actually grow how they're supposed to. And then you guys are going to design a lab, and the lab is going to set up similarly of how we did these confirmation plates, but instead of just covering with tin foil, you're going to cover it with something like some kind of suntan oil. You can do different articles, clothing. You can do test pretty much anything you want to see how effective it is at blocking out sun rays. So you're going to put it out in the sun or in the UV cabinet here in the room, and you're going to then count or try to estimate how much mutated, you're only going to use the mutated at this point, how much of the mutated actually grew, because the mutated is the only one that would have died by the sun. All right, so that's what you're going to do. So like if you put like a white cloth over this one and you put a black cloth over this one, does this one grow more and this one grow less? All right, so you're going to have to figure out a way to try to make that quantitative and measure that. All right, so this is the one big lab report in this class. You're not only going to have to understand why skin cancer happens, how you prevent it, how you detect it, treat it. You're also going to have to be able to do this lab report. All right, so that is it.